It's time for Michigan Fun on My Michigan TV, a weekly look at the top events in Michigan as presented by the state's leading authority on events, the Michigan Festival and Events Association. A full listing of events is available on MichiganFun.com. Michigan Fun is a production of My Michigan TV powered by Michigan Digital. Now, here's your host, President of the Michigan Festival and Events Association, Mike Sukin.
Welcome to Michigan Fun, the show where we check out the state's top festivals and events. I'm your host, Mike Sukin, and winter is in full swing here in Michigan, and we are starting out with some awesome events ahead of us. On today's show, we're going to find out what's happening at the Caddy in Cadillac, and then we're going to go to Gaylord for AlpenFrost. But first, we got a real special for you. We got Lisa Johnson at the Trenary Outhouse Classic. Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
Trenary Outhouse Classic. I mean, can you think of anything more fun than an outhouse race?
I know. It is really fun. Trenary. A lot of people have a hard time saying that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm a troll. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So tell us, what's the history of this event and the contestants and prizes and all the activities? I mean, Trenary has a huge population on this particular day.
Right. Yeah. So our town usually only has about 350 to 400 people on the daily. And on race day, it brings in an extra, I would say, 14 to 2,400 people has been the last couple of years. And depending on the year, if it's really nice out, it'll bring more people in. But yeah, so this is our 31st year, and which is really crazy because it started out with, it was really just something to break up the winter in our small town. And it didn't start out as anything really. It was just like the townspeople. And then it kind of just kept growing and more people kept hearing about it. And before you know it, we're where we're at now. It's
a fun event. It's an event to chuckle about. How many contestants do you have for this race?
Well, that varies for the year too, but I would say, because we have a kids category as well, which is really cute. We have, I don't know, usually 3 to 5 kids team racers pushing out houses. And then the adult races, I would say anywhere from 12 to 23 pushers, outhouses. So it really just depends on the year. But we've had, I think last year or the year before, we had a record number, and I want to say it was up in the 20s, high 20s.
So what other activities are there? I mean, you said the children's division, the adults division. What else is going on there in town for this event?
Yeah, so we have a couple other fun things that we do to break up the races, because honestly, if we just got them all through and raced, it would be fairly short. So we do have a couple extra things that we're going to do. We do like to in the middle of the races. So our number one, we always do a fur hat contest. So there's people that dress up, there's people that just wear fur hats around here, fake or real. But we have them come out onto the track that we make, and we line up, and the crowd kind of judges who has the best fur hat. And that's like something kind of fun. We see the same people every year for that, and it's really fun. So we'll have that little contest in the middle there. And then we have a fun one this year that's going to be new, first time, and it's a mullet contest. So we're gonna have the same kind of thing going on. But you know, mullets seem to be coming back in and have been for a while. So we thought, oh, what fun would it be, especially with all these Yooper people up here. I've seen some pretty good ones over the last 6-8 months. So we're going to add a little fun into that and have a special little prize for them too.
Business in front, party in the back.
Right.
The theme of a mullet.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So for those people who don't know where Trenary is, can you give them
Yes.
some, I mean, obviously it's in the UP.
The UP, yes. We are the heart of the UP, if you ask anybody around here. We're actually right in between two major cities up here, Marquette and Escanaba. We're kind of right in the middle of the two of them. And yeah, like I said, we're just a small little town. And I think everybody knows us because we have the Trenary Outhouse Classic, and then we have Trenary Toast as well. And that's really well known, like probably worldwide. So
Yeah, Trenary toast is definitely a UP delicacy, and the only thing that can make Trenary toast any better is if you have some thimbleberry jam to go on it.
that sounds really good. Yes. That's more Keweenaw kind of thing, but yes, definitely. They put butter on it around.
Mouth is watering.
The Trenary, they will be, I think they usually come and they usually do some hot chocolate and they have some toast. So they'll be, I haven't heard exactly if they're coming, but they have the last couple of years and sold some of their goods.
So if people are looking for some additional information about the event, or maybe even Trenary in general, website, email address, Facebook page, what do you got?
Yeah, well, we've had Facebook is the most common right now. We had some issues with our website, so that's currently not. It's up and running, but it is not current. So we've been trying to get the word out through Facebook and interviews that is not current information. I think you can still print off like registration form to push an outhouse on there, but the Facebook page, yeah, that's what's up right now. We do have links that you can click on to print off the registration form, but you can also register on race day also, and it's $40, and you'll get, each of the racers will get a t-shirt, of course, a roll of toilet paper, and pins to get in. That's our entry fee, is a pin. So that will all be included in the $40. And then I don't think we discussed it earlier, but for each category that we have, I think we have 6 categories this year. Each of them will have a first and second cash prize. So that's something to look forward for, to really push hard and win.
Push hard and win. Sounds like a barrel full of laughs.
It is a lot of fun.
Good competition, a way to beat the winter doldrums by getting out there and having some fun.
Yes,
Thanks,
exactly.
Definitely appreciate you being on the show today. I wish you guys and this a lot of success. And for our viewers, you got to get up to Trenary, up in the middle of the UP, and go have some fun for the UP or for the Outhouse Classic. Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye. So, coming up next on our show, we're going to be going to the Caddy in Cadillac. We'll be right back.
My Michigan TV is streaming everywhere on Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, and more smart TV apps. My Michigan TV is on your phone too. Take us with you wherever you go. Just search for My Michigan TV on your favorite app store or visit mymitv.com. On your TV, on your phone, on the web. All Michigan streaming everywhere. My Michigan TV.
Welcome back to Michigan Fun, the weekly show where we talk about the top events in the state of Michigan. Our next guest is Joe Cantwell, and he's with the Fatty Caddy Fat Tire Bike Races in Cadillac. Welcome, Joe.
Thanks for having me today.
Glad to have you. So how long has this race been going on?
This is only going to be our second year with it.
Okay. Sounds like fun. fat tire bike racing or bike riding seems to have taken off, and wintertime's a great time to do that. What was the inspiration behind having the Fatty Caddy? And I got to ask, where'd you guys come up with that name? That's such a cool name.
The initial inspiration was really the Cadillac Pathways. It has great single track setup, and they do a good job of grooming it in the winter and having it ready for people to travel up there. And then, you know, Cadillac by itself is kind of set up for large groups of people that come in, and the city has, you know, plenty of lodging and places to eat and things like that. And so getting up to Cadillac and riding on the trails is something that we've enjoyed to do as individuals. And we do a little bit of other races in downstate Michigan. And so getting something in the wintertime on my schedule as a race director was something that I wanted to do. And fat bikes are a lot of fun. And you get kind of like more of the snowboarder feel with the people that come to the fat bike event to hang out. And so they're really there just to hang out for a couple hours and share stories with their friends. And so it's a good time.
You look like you got a few characters there looking at the screen. It's on the pictures. So I'm glad that.
Yeah, lots of personalities and lots of bright clothes.
Well, you got to have, I mean, you got the Fatty Caddy, you got to have personalities for something like that. But it looks like it's a blast. And what a great way to get some exercise, fat tire bike riding in the snow. I mean, that just sounds like fun. I've been up in the UP, and I've seen them do that up in Munising and Marquette. And, you know, I live in northern Michigan. I see it a lot. So I think that's... Fat tire bike has really not been that prevalent until recent years, correct?
No, and I think just in general with bikes, people are kind of getting on them more, and there's a lot of other options. And I think when people first get on a bike, a fat tire bike is a little bit more stable, and so they feel more comfortable to be out there riding on it. And you know, initially designed to be riding around like beaches, and then obviously in snow. And, you know, people are starting to use them more and more and more in everyday applications, just because feeling a little bit safer on the bike and less of a fall risk and stuff like that. But then part of the fun of being able to fat bike on like groomed single track trails, as you know, you're on 8 to 10 inches of snow or more. And so wipeouts happen, and snow-covered faces and smiles shining through them, and all that good stuff that comes along with it. And so, like I told my wife when I got my fat bike, like it's impossible to get hurt on a fat bike because you're riding on snow. She doesn't necessarily believe me, and she still tells me to be safe. But
that's probably good advice on her part. So how many contestants are you looking at having in this? And do you have, is it just one race? Is it a timed race? Is it, you got different divisions? Tell us a little bit about the event.
Yeah, we're hoping to have about 100 people show up this year. Last year we had around 150, but I'm sure everybody knows that winter has been a little bit light in Michigan this year. And so we've actually had to move the race to a different host location. As part of the permit process of using the Cadillac pathways is we need to have 4 inches of snow. And so we're moving to Lost Pine Lodge, which is kind of out by Caberfay. And that's a neat host spot too. They'll be well set up to take 100 people, and they've got like a small bar and stuff like that, so people will be able to grab a drink when they get done with the race. And so, yeah, hoping for that 100 number this year, and then hopefully next winter is quite a bit better, and we get to hang out at the pathways again next year.
Well, Joe, I live in Lewiston, and this morning when I got up, it was 12 degrees. Feel like temperature of 4, and the weather forecast by actually the weather forecast is 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's supposed to start snowing, so hopefully
Nice.
you got a whole nother week yet to go. So it's Mother
Yeah,
Nature.
you never know.
Yeah.
You never know in Michigan. And then, whenever the temperatures, like highs are in the 20s, you have a chance for some good lake effect snow. And so, yeah, fingers crossed that we get snow. And I know that the team that's up there will get the trails groomed for us if we do get snow, which would be the perfect situation for everybody, because Lost Pines Lodge, they're happy to have us there, but they'd much rather have a bunch of snowmobilers up using the trail systems that they have for snowmobiles up there too. So fingers crossed that we get a bunch of snow and we can move it back to the single track. The race is only kind of part of it for, especially for me as an individual rider, people that I talk to, we want a chance to go out and compete with people. And that kind of draws a different crowd. But the biggest thing is just hanging out with your friends with your bikes for a day, and whatever kind of a platform that we can set up to, get 100 people out there that are having a good time and have that common experience of going out and accomplishing something challenging on their fat bike. So I think that we're still set up to have a good time February 24th, regardless of what host location that we end up using.
So is it a single start and everybody just takes off, or is it a time start?
Yeah, there's two different race distances. And so the one race distance is 12 and then the other one's 24. And there's 1,500 feet of elevation in the 24 miles, which is a significant amount of elevation. That's a lot of climbing. And so it's, not just like a standard going out on the road. And so the two different distances start at different times, and probably only like 2 or 3 minutes apart, depending on how many people we have in the wave. And then the shorter distance does 1 12-mile lap, and then they'll finish out. And then the longer distance does 2 laps of the same 12-mile loop, and then they finish after their second lap.
Awesome.
And then we'll do top 5 overall awards for both categories. And it's kind of fun getting into a little bit of Cadillac history with the different events. The 12-mile race is the Cobb Mitchell race, which were 2 of the original lumberjacks that came up to Cadillac and settled the area. And then the longer race is the De La Mothe. And Antoine De La Mothe was the first French fur trader that came up from Detroit and kind of settled in the Cadillac area. And so we do try to get into a little bit of the history. Michigan's a super old state and has a lot of old towns. And so, learning some of that stuff about the areas that we're in is a lot of fun too.
I love it. The history, the culture, the competition. Excuse me, starting is going to be at Cabernet this year, correct?
Lost Pines Lodge. It's out by Cabernet, but 2 different spots.
Okay. And anyone looking for additional information for registration or times and stuff like that, you've got a website, Facebook. What's the best way to get a hold of you or find out what's going on?
RaceFattyCaddy.com is our website, and that has a lot of good information on it. And then we also have our Facebook.com/FattyCaddy Facebook page. And that's where we put a lot more of like the day-to-day updates on is our Facebook page. And our website has a lot of very usable course links and things like that for people that, you're not able to kind of get on in the Facebook world.
Perfect.
So we have good information on both platforms.
That's awesome. Joe, thank you very much for being on the show. I look forward to the event, and everybody there's Joe's already told you how to get that information, and get out there and get some exercise. And it sounds like lots of fun, lots and lots of fun. Thanks, Joe, for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us.
Appreciate it. Well, that was a lot of fun, and that's going to be a blast. You got to get up. Yeah, I get up to Cadillac. But don't go away, because we're not done. We're going to go to Gaylord next and learn all about AlpenFrost. Don't go away.
When you visit Treetops Resort, you can expect a Northern Michigan winter playground at an unbelievable value. This year, we're open all week long. And with Cool School, you can ski, stay, and eat for the cost of a lift ticket. Our crew can't wait to help you learn Soar. Go to the extreme and have magical moments. At Treetops Resort, you'll make unforgettable Northern Michigan memories and afford to come back for more.
Welcome back to Michigan Fun, a weekly look at the top events across the state of Michigan. Our next guest is Megan Rink. She is from the Gaylord AlpenFrost. Hey, Megan, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. There's always something Alpen going on in the Alpen village of Gaylord. So tell us
absolutely.
tell us what we can expect at AlpenFrost.
So AlpenFrost is just a celebration of everything that is winter in Gaylord. So we try and encourage people to get out and get downtown, and that's what we do. We just get them right down in the heart of Main Street, and we kick it off with our Frosty 5K, and then we have events throughout the day, most of which are free to the community. And then we end it in the evening at Karma Tap Room with sheer entertainment for some karaoke.
That sounds like fun. Karaoke is always a blast. You've got those people that are really, really talented, and you got those people that say, how much longer before they're done?
Right.
But it's always fun. So it's a celebration of winter and embracing the fact that that it's here. It is definitely going to be cold this weekend in Gaylord.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's AlpenFrost, so I mean, we don't want to call it AlpenThaw.
I love it. I love it. So what kind of activities? I've seen the videos and the pictures from the website. You got some kids activities. You got obviously there's lots of restaurants and great shops downtown. Few microbreweries, a few wineries. I mean, there's something for everybody as far as the shopping goes. But what about the activities?
So the activities, as I said, we kick it off with the Frosty 5K that starts at 9:00, and it's rated one of the colder runs in Northern Michigan because it's easy because it's flat, but it's hard because it's flat. So you get hit by that wind, and so a lot of people, when they start off, they're starting strong and warm, and when they cross the finish line, I've seen a lot of beardsicles and like a lot of crystal eyelashes. So it's pretty cool. And then we go from there, and we have this hot cocoa crawl. So a lot of our businesses are participating in this hot cocoa competition where every place gives you like a tasting of hot chocolate, and then you get to vote on who has the best. And the first 25 that come in to Plot-Bound Books to tell us who had the best cocoa will get a free hot chocolate bomb. Then after that, we have like a local artist who's hidden some artwork in some of the businesses, and you have to find them and then come back to Plot-Bound Books, which is kind of our hub this year. And you can gather a sticker or two from the artist if you found some of the stickers, which is pretty cool. And then we have our soup cook-off is actually a kids event this year, sponsored by Kiwanis of Gaylord. And we're encouraging kids to make some soup. And we, of course, have awards and stuff for those who have the best soup voted by the people that come in and taste it. And we're asking for donations for the food pantry of Gaylord. So everything that people come in, they like non-perishable food item or some monetary donation for the food pantry. But with the soup cook-off right next to it, we also have a Lego mosaic building for the kids to get in on. So that'll be super fun. We also have the Girl Scouts doing a build a snowman, which is just like this cute little plush snowman that they're going to encourage people to build with them. We have paint and sip at the Rusty Pelican with our local artist who's going to do some wine tasting and some painting, which is always fun. And then,
I said, yes, my wife has partaken in that, and I've got a number of family members. We've actually got some of that artwork on display in our home. It is a fun activity, the sip and paint type activity. Megan, the one thing that really hit me, and you're going 90 miles an hour because you got so many things going on. I appreciate that, but it's it's the event that has a cause. You know, a fun event, fun activity, people get out there, but the cause and helping the food kitchen and those people that are a little less fortunate. I thumbs up on that. Great job on that. I really, really appreciate that. I think that's one of the things about festivals that seems to be a theme for a lot of festivals, that there's always something going on that has a cause. And my hat's off to you guys for that. And you know, you're taking the cold winter months and you're finding something that's fun to do. You also mentioned where your headquarters are, but for those people who aren't from Gaylord, where is that located?
Right in the middle of Main Street. So you have all the shops right down on Main Street, and it's right in the middle of it. So it's a little small store. It's all painted black, and it kind of sticks out a bit. So if you're walking around, just check out the stores on Main Street and you'll see it. To go along with the soup cook-off, we wanted to do like a snowman building competition, but with the lack of snow, we weren't able to do that. But we had help from Snowbelt Brewery on Main Street, collecting hats and scarves for the homeless. So we have all these hats and scarves. We're still going to be donating all those to the homeless in Gaylord. We are going to be partnering with the Youth Home Project, Youth Caring Home Project, to get those hats and scarves and mittens out to them, even though we couldn't use them for the snowmen.
You know what? That's a good audible, you know, changing the plays at the line of scrimmage and making something work. And that's still a good thing. Megan, for anybody that's looking for additional information, where can they find that?
They can go to AlpenFrost.com. We also have AlpenFrost on Facebook, so they can go on there. During the actual festival, we usually live stream a lot of things and try and update everything that's going on play by play, so everybody knows what's happening. I did also want to mention the one other philanthropical thing that we do, the Frosty Dip. So $5 to dunk into a pool of cold water, and the money goes to the Gaylord Firefighters Association this year, and you get a t-shirt to prove that you jumped in the cold water.
Is there a sanity check on that too?
My parents always told me, cold kills germs, or maybe that was just to get me to go outside in the winter, I guess. That's probably why I like it in the winter so much.
It's no different than a polar plunge, but this one's got a cause for it. So again, congratulations on that. Lisa, thank you very much for being on the show. Definitely sounds like a fun event. And for our audience, you got to get up to Gaylord for AlpenFrost, and you can run, you can sip some wine and artwork, you can get some chocolate, and if you're really feeling like you got to do it, volunteer to be in the dunk tank.
Yes, please.
Thanks. Appreciate you being here. You have a good time.
Yes, thank you. You too.
Well, that wraps up this week's show. Again, another jam-packed show, things going on in the state of Michigan. Doesn't matter what the weather is. There's always something happening in the state of Michigan. I want to thank Lisa Johnson, Joe Cantwell, and Megan Rink from AlpenFest and for joining us today. For more information on these events or anything happening in Michigan, go to michiganfun.com. Everything's posted there. Also, I'd like to thank our producer, Jared Clark, and the entire staff at My Michigan TV. To browse the full library of on-demand videos, go to MyTV. That's MyMITV.com. All Michigan, streaming everywhere. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, get out there and have some fun.